I'm sorry.
I keep replaying the first recording and hearing certainty where there shouldn't have been any. I was too confident about the order of things. If I ever have to rely on these notes again, I need this correction to exist alongside the others. This isn't a replacement. It's an amendment. The instruction is simple. If I ever decide to organize the boxes again, don't trust the labels I wrote after the third day. Trust whatever is inside. Ignore my handwriting if it disagrees with the contents. I thought the mistake was harmless. There are 8 storage boxes in the spare room. Identical, gray plastic. Each one holds a different set of papers from different years. Bills, old notebooks, insurance forms, receipts, manuals, things I wanted to keep but never wanted to see. I labeled all of them months ago. Last week I opened box 4 because I needed a warranty document. The label said house. Inside were notebooks. I assumed I had mixed them up. I found the warranty in box 6, which was labeled letters. Annoying but explainable. I corrected the labels with fresh tape and a marker. The next morning they were wrong again. Not peeled off. Not moved. Wrong. The tape I had just written on was exactly where I left it, but the words were different. Not crossed out. Not overwritten. Just different. I remember thinking I must have written the wrong thing while distracted. I even laughed once. That's why the first recording sounds so certain. I believed my memory was the problem. To test it, I photographed every box after relabeling them. The photographs matched what I remembered writing. The next day, the photographs no longer matched the boxes. I checked the timestamps. Same files. Same date. Same angle. Only the labels were different. I almost deleted that sentence because it sounds impossible, but deleting it wouldn't help. That's why this recording exists. The photographs are useless. The labels are useless. Only the contents matter. I stopped relabeling anything. Instead, I began opening every box before taking something out. It wasted time, but at least it worked. For a while. Then I noticed another problem. The notebooks themselves had moved. Not all of them, just one. A plain black notebook with no writing on the cover. I distinctly remembered placing it beneath 3 folders inside box 4. Later it was sitting on top inside box 2. I didn't touch it. I became careful after that. I started making inventories. Every page. Every envelope. Every object. Nothing expensive. Nothing sentimental. Just records. Lists. I numbered everything in pencil. It was exhausting. 2 days later, the pencil numbers were still there. But they belonged to different objects. I remember staring at a folded instruction manual with the number 17 written in my own handwriting. 17 had belonged to a notebook. The notebook now carried the number 23. The numbers weren't erased. They hadn't been rewritten. It was as though I had always assigned them that way. Except I hadn't. That's an important distinction. I wasn't finding corrections. I was finding consistency that disagreed with my memory. Eventually, I stopped trying to prove anything. I made one practical rule. Open every box. Check every item. Never assume. Life became slower, manageable, until yesterday. I found something that wasn't on any inventory. A sealed envelope. Blank. No address. No stamp. I almost ignored it because I assumed I'd forgotten to record it. But I recognized the paper. I used that exact kind of envelope. I buy them in packs of 50. I opened it. Inside was a folded sheet. Blank. Nothing else. I checked my inventories. No envelope. I checked my older recordings. No mention of one. I placed it on the table and decided to leave it there until today. This morning it was still on the table. Relief lasted maybe 5 seconds. Because now there were two. Same envelope. Same paper. Both blank. I burned neither. I threw away neither. They're in separate drawers now. That isn't fear. That's procedure. If they multiply again, I need to know whether they stay together. I know how ridiculous that sounds. The point of these recordings was never to convince anyone. They're instructions. Nothing more. There is one correction to make regarding something I said in recording 5. I claimed the changes only affected labeled objects. That is inaccurate. This morning I made coffee. I reached automatically for the blue mug because it's chipped near the handle. The chip wasn't there. I assumed I'd picked up the wrong mug. Every mug in the cupboard was unchipped. I searched the sink. Nothing. Then I found the chipped mug in the hallway cabinet beside the spare batteries. I don't remember putting it there. That sentence bothered me for hours. Not because of the mug. Because of the wording. I don't remember putting it there. I keep using that phrase. It lets me pretend the missing memory is the important part. Maybe it isn't. Maybe the important part is that every misplaced thing eventually appears somewhere that makes practical sense. The notebooks end up with papers. The warranty ends up with documents. The mug ends up in storage beside household supplies. Nothing appears in impossible places. Everything is simply reassigned. As if whatever is doing the sorting understands categories better than I do. I almost said whatever is changing things. That's not the correction. The correction is smaller. More uncomfortable. I don't actually know that anything is changing at all. The photographs disagree with the room. The inventories disagree with the objects. My recordings disagree with my notes. But none of those disagree with each other in the same direction. Every piece of evidence supports itself. Only my memory insists there used to be another arrangement. I realized that while listening to the first recording again. I apologized to myself because I thought I'd been careless. Now I'm not sure carelessness had anything to do with it. If every record eventually settles into agreement except the version I carry in my head, then preserving that version is the only practical purpose these recordings still have. So here's the instruction. Don't reorganize the boxes again. Don't rewrite the inventories. Don't replace the labels. If something appears where it seems to belong, leave it there. Even if you're certain it wasn't there before. Especially then. I've just looked toward the spare room because I thought I heard one of the lids snap shut. I'm not going to check. Not yet. If there's another correction after this one, it can wait until morning. Unless the boxes are open by then.